and welcome back, or wait, let's do that again. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. For those of you that don't know, my name is Olivia and I'm a fantasy artist based in the UK who is trying to be more consistent with YouTube. So look at me go, my second video. So anyway, today's video is going to be a chatty one, so there's going to be a lot of talking. So it's not going to be my usual drawing or sketching, it's going to be more of an advice slash my experience kind of video. So today we're going to be talking about manufacturing, and I kind of just wanted to share some of the things that I've learned over the years of manufacturing and hopefully give you guys some tips and things to avoid or things to just be aware of or careful of. So I've made a list. Let me just get the list. So the theme of this video is basically turning your art into products and manufacturing tips. So let's start with okay, so let's start with the artwork. So I know this probably seems like a really obvious one, but make sure that when you send over the artwork for whatever product you're doing, it's always high resolution. This is so important because I did this once before where I ordered a tapestry or a rug kind of thing, and the resolution was not high. And the thing that I've realized is the factory don't always tell you that the resolution isn't high. They will literally just print what you've sent. So my first thing is always make sure the artwork is properly prepped for printing. So just make sure it's high res, like the biggest size that you can go, and send that. The second thing I want to say is always get samples first. Don't be like me. I swear it's the Aries in me. Like, I am the most impatient person. So there are times when I've been like, then they're like, do you want a sample? And I'm just like, no, let's just order the whole 100. And that is honestly not a good idea. Like, always get a sample first. Samples are so good because it allows you to see the quality and like just how good the product is going to be or how not good it's going to be, and it kind of gives you a more rounded view of the factory. And then I would also recommend, if you can afford it, to possibly get samples from a few different places. But if you can't get samples from a few factories, always read the reviews first, and preferably check the reviews that have photos attached, because that really helps out. So always make sure you get a sample first, so you can, to be honest, it's always also good to get a sample because it allows you to see how much you can actually charge for a product. Because I recently got bags made, and I think based on the photo, I thought the cost, I thought the retail price would be a lot lower, but when I actually received the bags, the quality was so good that I did end up charging a little bit more for them. But if I hadn't have got my like bag in hand or a sample, I wouldn't have known that, and I would have done pre-orders but cheaper. So it's always good to get one just so you can just see the quality and like make sure everything's okay and exactly how you want it. And then the second thing, I didn't even think about this, but I recently seen a couple of comments of people having issues with this with the factories. So for those of you that don't know, the website that most creators use, am I breaking a rule by saying this? No, I'm joking. The website that most creators use to order wholesale products, or not even wholesale but order printed products, is Alibaba. And it basically links you with a lot of different factories. They're all different, like they all do different products, like so there are a lot of factories to choose from on Alibaba. And one tip I'm going to give you guys, because I've read so many horror stories now, is always keep communication with the factory in Alibaba. Don't take it outside of that website. A lot of people, well, a few people that I've read have taken communication to WhatsApp, and they've done the payments outside of Alibaba, and this is such a bad idea because the actual company and website of Alibaba, they like have protection for buyers. So if there are issues or you're not happy with things, you can get a refund or it can be resolved a lot better. Whereas if you do it through WhatsApp, they can't protect you against anything because you didn't do it through them, if that makes sense. So always keep communication through Alibaba, just to keep yourself safe and make sure you don't lose money, because a lot of people, or some people, order in larger quantities, which means you're going to be spending more money, which means that you want to be protected and not swindled. So always be aware of that. Another thing that I think really helps is, because I am so stubborn, so whenever I get an idea for a product, like my first thing that I want to do is just rush straight ahead, get it made. Like I don't even ask anyone what artwork they like I literally will just pick any drawing and I'm like, we're making this into this. And I've learned that that's not a good idea, so I'm sharing my experience with you guys. So if you can, always make sure to ask your customers first which products they like and want to see on whatever it is that you're making, because I feel like this is so important. Because for me anyway, the pieces of art that I really like are never the pieces of art that my customers seem to like. So I feel like when I choose, the chances of things selling are very low, but then if I allow everyone else to choose their favorites, then it instantly goes up higher, and I know that people are going to be more inclined to want to actually get the product. So that is another thing, like always make sure to ask your customers what they like and what artwork they want to see. And then another thing to be aware of, or that you can do, is once you've got your sample, if you don't have the money up front to actually order your product, pre-orders are always a good idea. I know a lot of creators will get their sample and photograph it, and then they will do pre-orders to assess how many people are actually interested in the product. And then if it's not as high as anticipated and you can't afford it, you can do refunds, or you can just leave it open for a certain amount of time, and then the money from the pre-orders can then also go towards the actual cost of manufacturing. So those are the main things. I'm trying to think. So in terms of actually designing the products and like getting everything print ready, it's very straightforward. At least for me, it's been straightforward in terms of when I've had bags made or my little pouches made. And I also had mouse desk mats made, and the whole experience of those was so easy. Like I literally just sent the image off. I'll show you some of the things that I have. So these are the bags that I just got made, and really, oh. Sorry guys. Okay, wait. So these are the bags that I just got made, and they turned out so good. So this is what they look like. The quality is so good. And to get these made, it was such a simple process. Like I just sent the factory the images. Here's the other one. I'll show you guys. This is the other one here. So the process was super simple. I just sent them the image and they sent me a mock-up of the product so that I could then approve it, and that was it. Simple. It was so good. Now, there are other things that I've manufactured that have been a bit more complicated. So it really depends on the product that you want to make. So I've also made, let me get these out. I've also made earrings. Now this is the earrings that I've made. Let's see if it's gonna focus. Are you gonna focus, or are you mad because I dropped you? Yeah. It's not focusing. I don't know why, but basically I made these earrings, and the earring process is a little bit different. So with enamel pins and earrings, what you want to do, instead of being able to send them a piece of art like this, you want it to be a very simple, basic line art with just a flat filled in colour. So I'll see if I have any photos that I can insert so you can see what I mean. But you just don't need any of the extra details. Like it just has to be the very, very basic basic like type of art, like just lines and flat colors. Because of things like enamel, they can't really do things as complicated. I think they can do like airbrushing and painting over the top, but I like to keep it as simple as I can with the enamel stuff. But once you've done that, you send them the picture, and then again they will send you a confirmation, like a mock-up, but they also send you the Pantone colors. So always beware with the enamel stuff. Sometimes the colors might not match exactly to what you're expecting. Like I have had that before. So when you're doing your colors, try and pick the, is it Pantone? I said Pantene, like the hair product. Try and pick the proper Pantone colours, because that's what the factory will be using. So bear that in mind for things like enamel, pins, and then I'm trying to think what other products. I had any other products? I think that's all the products that I've had. And then the desk mats was the same in terms of just sending an image, and then that's the same with the bags. So yeah, to be honest, that is pretty much it. So just to summarize, the best place to get these kinds of products made is Alibaba, and then they have a huge selection of factories that you can choose from. Always make sure to get your sample first. Always make sure you send high resolution artwork, and to be honest, like a lot of the factories are actually very helpful. Like they're not out to con you, like they are helpful. So if you do need help and you're not really sure where to start, you can ask them as well. Like, you know, you can ask what they recommend. Like I had a really nice factory advise me, like I'm making book sleeves as well, and he was like, oh, what color zip do you want? And I was trying to be like not difficult, and I was like, let's just go over black zip, and he was like, no, he was like, let's do a pink zip, and I was just like, yeah, do you know what, pink zip it is. So just remember that it's okay to ask questions and just have fun with it. Make sure that you keep all communication through the website as well. And I think that is it for this video. If you have any questions, just let me know, guys, and I'll see